And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 1191. Today is Friday, February 9th, and I'm King.
And I'm Big Daddy Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
And today's top story is BlackRock Fidelity Bitcoin ETF see largest debut month of any ETF in 30 years. Web3 meets Davos, key insights from Crypto 2030. Maxine Waters, lawmakers very close to a stablecoin deal, is being reported. ERC 404 hybrid NFT tokens in good spot for EIP push, says Deb. And Dwight Howard NFTs. Athletes need to take the time to understand how they work. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So let's take a look at our prices. Everybody's really excited. A little late night pump, if you were awake to see that. Everybody's losing
Oh,
their
yeah, I
mind.
saw it happening. I love watching it happen, man. It's always fun.
Yeah. Watching it between Twitter. But yeah, so our prices for today, $2, up 4.5% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum at 2,489, up 2.2%. Binance Coin at 323.4%. Solana sitting at 104 is up 0.2%. XRP at 52 cents is up 1.1%. Cardano at 53 cents is up 3%. 98 is up 2.9%. And Dogecoin coming in at number 10 is 8 cents, up almost 1% on the day. And some of our trendings, Dimension, Jupiter, Meme, AI are some of the trending coins. And look, the fear and greed index is moving and moving into the green. The greed is coming. We're stuck in the middle in the yellow area for 2-3 weeks, right? Now we're to greed or the green area. And of course, like we said, watch and say though, man. I think a lot of people in the industry, man, they get soft because 4% move didn't move the needle 5 years ago. Like a 4% move was like, oh, okay, whatever. But it was like that. They everybody's trying to catch the first big pump because everybody can feel it coming. So it is funny to see people watching it live going crazy. Oh my God, Bitcoin's going crazy. I'm thinking, oh man, they going 15, 20%. No, 4.5. I'm like, all right, man, y'all getting soft. Y'all just happy over
Right.
anything.
Right. This exuberance is getting crazy. All right, Zay, it's official. It's definitely the software. For those who are
Yeah.
listening, Zay and I were just having a conversation before the show started, and everything was perfect until I pushed live. So we know for sure it's the software now.
Definitely soft.
Really quick, shout outs. What's going on, Satoshi? Right? What's going on, Crypto Night Train, Lord Smith, Hyben 17, Smitty Farms. Yeah, they say you're in and out. No, it's literally Restream. It's official. It's Restream.
Yeah.
I was just talking to him. So we'll figure this out, though. We might have to get another software solution. Hopefully not. Just call me L. What's going on? Laura Smith, Crypt Work. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Maybe it just needs time to kick in. I swear it's only like that at the beginning, and then it kicks in. So maybe it's that. But top stories of the day again. Let's go ahead and roll to it. BlackRock Fidelity Bitcoin ETFs see largest debut month of any ETF in 30 years. I think this is an important story. Just to show that it works once again, even on the traditional side. No matter how you call it, no matter what you do, Bitcoin is still Bitcoin and slapping everything you do. And it's crazy to me. There are still, I know a guy out in LA, he's a notable lawyer, and he still thinks Bitcoin's a scam. It's like, so I mean, this is like a week ago. He was telling me this like a week ago. I'm like, bro, I usually don't pick up his calls, but I was like, why do you keep calling me? Like, you literally called me just to talk shit about Bitcoin. Like, doesn't sound like a friend to me. But but it is one of those things where I love seeing stories like this because it gives it that actual that institutional and that old traditional backing to show that yes, this is a real asset and it's powerful. Over 5,535 quote unquote newborn ETFs launched in the United States over the last 30 years. Only 2 have acquired over 3 billion in assets in the first month. Those, of course, being Bitcoin and this other one, I'm not even sure. This is I should trust. BlackRock and Fidelity spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds have tallied more assets in their first month of trading than any other ETF launched in the United States over the last 30 years. Or they're counting both of them as separate. Okay. Bloomberg intelligence data shows BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, and Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, FBTC, have each secured more than $3 billion in assets in the first 17 trading days. The only ones to do so out of a list of over 5,500 ETFs. I wonder, though, I mean, didn't they already have those assets and they just maneuvered funds, or was this new capital? That's my question with it.
Yeah,
A, and then B.
new
Okay, so is
mhm.
this new capital?
Yep, new capital.
Oh,
These are inflows. Yep.
okay. Well, IBIT and FBTC are in a league of their own, said Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas in the February post on X. I want to know, like, again, I know it's institutional funds; these are bigger funds, but who literally are these people who are sitting on this? Like, why did you give them $3 billion for a derivative? I don't understand it, man. I really don't. Like,
hmm
who's giving hundreds of millions and thousands and like let me see this. All right, so this is assets at the 1 month and millions. So like who's giving it to them? I just do not understand someone saying, hey, here's 100 million out of our fund to buy your Bitcoin ETFs. You talking about a good old boy and girl club. This is it. To have a person or a company or institution uh not spend their money in an intelligent way, for literally to have someone say, don't spend your money on this investment that will make you money. I'm going to launch something different that will make us money that we can control. For that person to be like, all right, like
Yeah.
that is a good old boy, good old girl club I've ever saw in my life. Like, I don't understand how
Oh,
they're getting this capital. What are your thoughts?
oh yeah, the govern me harder, daddy, please. They basically are putting on golden handcuffs at this point. It's hilarious because sure, you're going to make money off of Bitcoin ETF. You're going to make cash. Everybody knows that. I think that's why we have such a unprecedented inflows for the Bitcoin ETF. But of course, a lot of these the money they already had the money. They're basically just allocating it towards these ETFs. And of course, with all of the reports that's come out from J.P. Morgan, that's come out from other places that are basically saying, hey, yeah, you should have at least this amount of Bitcoin. Everybody's gonna buy it, and of course, over time, I think the inflows with the halving coming is going to be ridiculous, man. And I think we're gonna see, like most people saying, a God candle. I'm not gonna give a prediction of when, because some people are saying this year, some people are saying next year. Doesn't matter when, it just knows that you just know that's going to happen. And of course, we got a lot of older people with money on the sidelines. That's who it is, King. It's the same people who get scammed by robocalls. It's the same people who sit and watch news and believe everything that's on there. We talk about the newspaper and radio generation, man. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to see it. They just know, hey, I trust. We're putting 2% into Bitcoin. All right, cool. I heard about it. My grandson made some money. I'm gonna make some too. That's pretty much it. I don't think people under the age of 30 in these ETFs. Maybe not that many under 40, because most people are
Yeah,
just
that's
on the asset.
yeah.
But all the people with money, they old, brother. And shout out to all the older people that don't want to deal with it, because we knew y'all were coming. It's just that when it happens, everybody wants to shout, well, you should do self-custody. Well, you should do it. I'm like, King, imagine if you was worth, let's say, 50 million right now, and you were 70 years old. How much research you gonna really do on Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's
very true.
that's the
I
thing.
get it.
Like, people say that until, and the thing is, you live in LA. I'm in Miami. Especially if you live in one of these big cities, you chilling, you on Beverly Hills, you shopping, you on boats, you go to nice restaurants,
Yeah,
you
you don't
got
got
your wife,
time. I
your kids
understand.
and grandkids. You ain't trying to read up on it. You just see the news where it's like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's up a bajillion percent over the last decade. All right, give me some of that. Just call your guy and like, yeah, let me get some of that. Put the phone down. Don't worry about it. So that's what we're dealing with now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Man, pause on that LB crypto. I didn't even say that word, but I almost put that across the screen thinking about a regular candle. And then as it processed, I was like, bro, what is y'all talking
Why,
about this morning?
why y'all niggas horny at 10 a.m.? Get it together.
Bruh, something wrong. Something is wrong. But yeah, like I said, I'm with you on that. Who knows if it's gonna be late this year, next year, whenever that God candle comes. I do believe it's gonna come as well. So we just sit back and relax, wait for that. Uh, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It's definitely old money. Makes sense. I'm not mad at it. That's fair point. I'm already rich. I checked the box of life. I'm not about to go back and try to relearn it. So I
Yeah.
understand that point of view. But like I said, to me, it's just disheartening, especially because the narrative is about to shift. ETFs are clean and safe and blah blah blah. Bitcoin, ugh. And it's just like, as an investor, as a professional in life, as an adult, this to me says like you don't understand life, right? You don't understand that the asset that's backing it is more important than whatever paper derivative you just bought
Some do.
into.
Some do.
Some do. Some
But
do, yeah, but
but you already know most people ain't trying to go into all that. And
it's
it's not
crazy,
even a
man.
lot. It's just more than what they want to do. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it
This is
is what
bound
it
to happen
is.
anyway, though. Because if you think Bitcoin's going, if everything's going to be divided by Bitcoin anyway, this was bound to happen. So we accept it, but at the same time, we do wish more people were going to self custody, and they'll learn when they when they can't
Listen,
actually
when
use
I'm telling you,
Bitcoin. They'll learn.
listen, maybe it won't be BlackRock Fidelity because they already have so many assets under management. But when these smaller to mid-sized companies, oh, I can't wait. You tell me it's not going to happen? Come on,
Come on.
one will do it. One is going to be like, hey, all the derivative money gone, y'all. Stop asking about ETFs. We sold out them years ago. All right, we don't know what happened, where they at.
Mm-hmm.
Everything to count. In fact, we closed. In fact, we based out another country. Bitcoin, we got you. Hee ha ha. So I definitely see that coming. I think once that comes, of course, people will be calling for rules and regulations, but in reality, hopefully, there will be some people calling for self custody and learning and more education. Like, hey, you cannot keep centralizing capital. That's what this is all about. You cannot centralize capital.
Mm-hmm.
But let's head over to Dabo's Web3 meets Dabo's key insights from Crypto 2030. The blockchain, crypto, and finance industries gathered at Davos, Switzerland in January to talk about the future of Web3. What did they discuss there, Bitcoin, Zay?
Oh yeah. So all the reptilians descended on Davos, Switzerland. That's how they can control the industry from from another. But yeah, so Crypto 2030 basically and as a community-led space, Web3 gatherings and summits from US to Europe and Asia. They had numerous organizations bring people together to talk about crypto and blockchain. You all know this. Anytime this is my rule of thumb. Anytime they have a conference in Davos or Switzerland, there's got to be some nefarious characters in there. I'm just saying, watch your back while you're there. It's probably a lot of agents in there overhearing a few conversations. But so they're there at Crypto 2030. A lot of investors who want to discuss it. A lot of people who want to invest in the Web3 space, tokenization and gaming and all these different things, which is fine as well. But they also delved into topics like CBDCs, the intricacies of digital identity, which has been a hot topic for the last few years. And they said a highlight was the exploration of decentralized governance models, which offer insights into how such frameworks can revolutionize decision-making processes across the digital domain. Let me just say this for most people who don't realize it. At some point, I got to give it up, man. There is no goddamn decentralized governance that you can do without a central party. There is a central controller, and then if you decentralize it based on whatever tokens, whatever you want to do it as, if you have a token distribution model, that means somebody is going to be more empowered than other people. If you try to make it equal, the only way to do it is to release it to the world and let them actually use it the way Bitcoin was. So I hate that they keep using this term, decentralized governance, and I'm like, come on, man. Just words mean things, and that is not something that is actually possible if you have, an investable project, because there's nobody that's going to invest in you, and you're like, no, we don't control the project. The community does. We ain't giving you no. You better have a back. You can't cut the blocks when something go wrong. No. We're not getting no money. So that's how the game goes. Like, you're not getting that investment money if you don't have a back door, if you don't have a way to stop payments or reverse it. Because if something goes wrong, say they fat finger it and they send too much, you think these companies care about your little project if you accidentally send 10 million instead of 1 million? Nope. Down the drain. And then, they lose their money. So, stuff like that at these conferences, I understand them discussing it. People are still excited, but just focus on the technology. Just remember, it's not actual money. It's just technology. They're trying to find new ways to do gaming and all that stuff. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man, it's crazy and it's unfortunate. Like, that's the greed element. Whereas, like, it's capitalism, is greed. Like, can you be mad at it? It's people trying to make a buck, but at the same time, it's like you're leading the sheep astray. So where can we find that middle ground at? I mean, I don't think we ever will, because there will always be, at least in the States, a person that's like, no, I just want to, buzzwords, word soup, get paid, and whatever else happens,
Mhm.
happens. So
Yeah.
with that being said, I mean, hey, right on time. Maxine Waters, lawmakers very close to a stablecoin deal is being reported. I am just wondering here, how in the hell are lawmakers close to a stablecoin deal when the American public has not been consulted about this? Literally, they forget who they work for in front of our faces. Like in front of our faces, they forget who they work for. People, our country's talking about introducing a stable coin. And like to me, this is my America's Day. Everybody pick up your cell phone that we got assigned to you, click yes and click no. All right. Do you want a national stable coin? Do you want the government to nationalize it, or do you want private companies to own it and we partner with them? Like, ask the American public. Why are we not getting a say in this? This is crazy to me. But I know the real reason why, because Maxine, hey, listen, you said before the stream, basically, Maxine, if old Auntie Maxine Waters involved, oh, you know, it's money to be made somewhere. We worked something out with the feds, and I think it's okay. Waters said the stablecoin bill. United States lawmakers are reportedly closing in on passing a long-awaited stablecoin bill after months of trying to reach a deal with House Financial Services Committee Chair Patrick Henry. Really quick, it's interesting that lawmakers are trying to pass this. Again, select lawmakers on their own when there has been such a verbal and just forthright, loud pushback on an actual CBDC or stablecoin. Yet we still have people in our government saying, hey, who cares that we have presidential candidates saying there won't be any CBDCs and stablecoins? We're going to do it regardless. So here she is. We're working on stablecoin. We're getting very close. Maxine Waters told Politico on February 7th. We're very, very close, very close. I don't know if she meant to just say that as an emphasis or she's starting to get them stutters going. I don't know. But regardless, she says we are very close to the stablecoin. Our central bank should have the power of oversight and should have the ability to be at the head of this. Wow. So let me read this to what this really says. A private company in America should have the power of oversight. And right. The real quote is, that's what's important to me. Our central bank should have the power of oversight and should have the ability to be at the head of this. But my thought is, she's saying a private American company should have the power of oversight and should have the ability to be at the head of this. Listen, I was telling Bitcoin Zay folks, I'm about to move, right? I'm about to move. And of course, you know, I don't have like a traditional job. I don't work for anyone. So I don't have W-2s and all this. So the apartment complex, you know how it is. They know. Every time I move somewhere, people, I just got to bring a bag of money, basically. I'll be like, look, do the background check, do the credit check, tell me how much money you want, and don't talk to me. Like, I don't feel like going this whole, I don't got your forms, okay? So it's a traditional type of company that's running it, but I won't even say traditional, but it's a corporate company that's running all these type of buildings. And they essentially, of course, like, we need W-2s, pay stubs, proof of this. But they was just like, can you send me proof of that you own this business? Can you send me? I'm just like, I told her like 3 times yesterday. I was like, you are a private company that I'm about to pay for a year plus. I was like, no. I was like, I'll send you bank statements to show the capital flow for the last 3 months or whatever. But I'm like, I'm not. There's you need to send. I'm like, no, you're a private company. Like, why do private companies have? And I'm like, the fact that y'all have the gumption, they was like, well, send me your tax returns, send me your business bank accounts, send me your business license. I was like, what? No. I was like,
send them a vial of blood while you at it, so they can.
So I essentially told him, I was like, look, you got the bank statements. Like, I made a good amount this last. I mean, I've been shooting commercials a lot, so the numbers is up. I'm like, hold on, it's way more than what you're asking for the bank statement. So like, knock it off, whoever. But it was the fact that I was like, why am I pushing back 2 or 3 times on you all? Like, I had to keep telling. I'm like, you're a private company. Like, you're not the government. You're not getting all my personal information just because you won. And I was like, either tell me the price and we move forward or not, and I'm cool. And you know what happened? 2 hours later, congratulations, welcome to the community. I'm like, exactly. Like, don't try to, you know what she said to her? They started hitting me, well, with the system, we can't move forward with our system. Hey, bro, I almost, listen, I said, I'm sorry about the rant, people. Y'all know I rant. Zay, I almost blew my shit. I said, system. I said, if I hear one more person tell me system, I said, let me tell you something. I said, I know how to code and I know about IT and systems. There's a human, there's a manager at the end of these systems. Always. So I was like, I said, so if it's not you, you need to call your boss, or he or she need to call their boss, so we can figure out the capital amount, because I'm not going back and forth with y'all sending y'all documents and shit. Like, this is beneath me. Like, seriously, it's wasting my time. And like I said, 2 hours later, they was like, welcome to the community. So I was just like, but my point is that this is a private company that was almost essentially trying to intimidate me to giving all my personal and business information out just so I can live in an apartment complex. That's ridiculous. Maxine Waters is essentially suggesting the same thing, but with the entire economy. She's saying, let's get another private company and then have them run the economy and then have the feds partner with them. Why? Why wouldn't we just nationalize it if that's the case? Like, why are we giving this to a private company? Who decides the private company? Who decides how the contract's given? Like, how long is that contract term? Do we just select the Fed? They do a stable coin, then that's our stable coin for the next 100 years? Like, how is that fair? It makes zero sense. So, yeah, these stories are deeply troubling, disheartening, and treasonous. I say treason. Okay, this is the most treason I've seen. She's been negotiating this matter with the House Financial Services Committee Chair Patrick Henry for over 20 months. Again, they're not asking for opinions from the general public because who gives a fuck? All right, we're gonna do what we want. But again, this is Maxine Waters working with Republicans and a few other folks on both sides of the aisle to make this stablecoin legislation happen. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh yeah. So this Clarity for Payment Stablecoins Act oversight all of the regulators. Basically, it seems like I have to go press some more regulators or something because they're getting too big for their britches at this point. A lot of these Congress people, in their mind, they control how this country works, whether you like it or not. That's what they believe. So whenever something comes up, they're like, yeah, how can we regulate it? How can we control it? How can we take power and make it our own? And then, of course, they're going to get their cut of the money on the back end. Like you said, it's treasonous and egregious. We've been hoodwinked and bamboozled, led astray. People actually think that you need regulation for these types of things, and they're going to make it seem like, hey, you need us to regulate it, or you might get hurt by a stable coin. It's a stable coin, bitch. It's a $1-to-$1. Who doesn't understand stable coins? I was teaching that to 8-year-olds at summer camp. It's very easy to describe a stable coin. It's like it's a 1-to-1 digital digital dollar. That's it. So what regulations do you need outside of? I mean, they want to do KYC AML, but you know what's about to happen? Them fake IDs I talked about on Telegram about to start popping up. They're about to have people from other countries have the ability to KYC AML, get these stable coins, and do what they want. It's just going to be the same thing. So, that's their job. But at the same time, it's like, man, how corny do you have to be to want to be in this position? Like, you want to regulate everything? Like, I mean,
yeah, that's kind of weird too. That's kind
of weird. But it's the game. I mean, Patrick McHenry, he's pretty much on, the Bitcoin side. He's actually an advocate for Bitcoin. But again, that's the job. He has to push it through these types of people, which is why nothing ever gets done. Because even if good ideas come up, once you get to the gatekeepers, you got people like Maxine Waters waiting there. And it's like, come on, man. Like we should have been past this. And you all's regulation. I mean, what is that? What really is that going to do for stable coins and for the crypto industry at large? It's like, leave us alone, man. How many different ways can y'all try to govern and regulate everything?
It's crazy. It's over regulation, but again, it's money to be made. Very interesting. Once again, how in 2016, when we started together, at least this was not the case. It was like it was the red-headed stepchild, proverbial stepchild, or whatever, and the middle child ignored, blah blah blah. As soon as the money came in for the ICOs, all of a sudden, oh, this needs our attention. This needs our protection. And again, some of it is for the goofy participants in the space who wanted to get rich quick. It didn't work out. And then they're like, well, we should sue scamcoin.com because they said that this scam coin was going to be the future of the economy. Like literally, it was like, oh, okay, bro. All right. Stan, thank you for the tip. Any opinion on Tucker's interview of Putin and his view of the bully dollar thing? So I saw it, but I didn't see it. Like I saw it pop up. I didn't watch it personally because
I haven't watched it.
People like, I gotta be honest. Again, the guy don't make mistakes. All right, hopefully I'm never in the room to debate these people, but I have to be honest. I think Tucker Carlson and some of these other notable people are very weak debaters and have weak interviewing skills, and they ask easy kind of questions. Honestly, they don't get in deep. Well,
King, how hard is the question you gonna ask when they got the guns pointed at you from behind the camera? Putin probably got snipers in the window waiting for him to ask a question. I dare you to do it so he can blow that head off, Tucker.
but that's why those goofy shit. That's why I say I'm not watching. They goofy. Like if I'm gonna meet with Putin, hey, no disrespect on this interview because I'm about to ask you some wild shit, sir. Seriously, because you're an interesting person, man. But I'm going to ask you. All right, so let's talk about what you don't want to talk about right now.
Get them out.
Yeah. But no, I'll be like, I'm gonna give you because Putin can handle it. I'm gonna give you a chance to make this sound good, brother. But no, I haven't seen it, so I'll check it out. Jake says pointless and distraction. I don't know. We got to check out that interview because it is important what Russia is doing, especially on the Bitcoin and crypto front as well. I saw somebody said that he said, what did he say? They said Tucker said something to him about the dollar, the American dollar is a bully or whatever. Did he say some treasonous shit in front of the
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I've been saving it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
Oh,
I've been
viewed as
saving
bully dollar. Go ahead.
No, well, the dollar is the bully. I mean, that's how we maintain our power. Everybody has to transact through our dollar.
If Putin called it the bully dollar, it probably was Putin. If Putin called it a bully dollar, I would have messed with him on the interview. I was like, whoa, inanimate objects a bully? Please explain, sir. I would have messed with him so heavy on that one. Movado said I watched it. I think it was a pretty good interview, better than what would have happened if the mainstream media would have done it. Now that part I will agree with. So shout out to Tucker Carlson. I will agree with that. He's definitely doing better than the mainstream media. So I'm not going to say it like that. Hey, trust me, Tucker was pulling the pants down, bro. Okay, all right. Shout out to Tucker. He went in there. But you all right, Zach. I wasn't thinking about that. You do got to, semi walk on eggshells or whatever.
Hey, man. He had, they about got Conor McGregor out there for putting his arm around him. Did you see that video? When he was trying to take a picture with Putin, he put his arm and the dude was like, And he was,
oh, man.
Don't put your arm around me, nigga. I kill two people to get a little boy. You ain't about to little boy me.
I'll see. And people, this is why I cut Bitcoin Zay off. I was about to cut you off and be like, you ain't about to little boy me. Listen, people got to understand. I was at a restaurant yesterday and I know it wasn't intentional. I was like, in a way, I was like, I'm gonna take it as a compliment because he probably thinks I'm younger than what I am. But Buddy was like, he walked by and said something like, oh, you good to go, bro? Like, you need anything right now, bro? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. But I was like, bro. I was like, am I getting old? Am I turning into a Karen in front of my eyes? I was like, I didn't know how I felt about this bro from my server. I was like, would you call, Bill Gates coming here? Is he bro? What we doing today? Like, what's happening? I don't know. I felt weird about that.
Hey, somebody said we need to put Putin on Club Shay Shay. That would be the most hilarious interview. So, Putin, how do you feel about D.O. Hughley?
Yeah.
Who is this D.O. Hughley?
Right. That's one Dubs. I agree. So there are ways to ask tough questions while being disrespectful. If you are clever, you can be very friendly while boxing someone in with tough questions. Exactly. That's the same way when it comes. I was thinking about this the other day when it comes to correcting people. Everybody's like, I feel like everyone, including myself, you can be corrected. No one's above reproach. There's a way to do it. And yes, at a certain level to show deference when you're correcting people, you can do it in a question form. Don't you think X, Y, and Z? What about so-and-so? What about that one? That way they're like, you give them a chance, but oh yeah, I see that too. You almost give them that layup, and it's still kind of correcting them without really correcting them and being disrespectful. So I'm with you, S1 Dub. It's definitely a way to do it. All right, shout out to Tucker. A few of our Warriors are saying that Tucker interview was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
There we go. I'm gonna check it out. There. Shout out to Tucker. Like I said, I am objective and fair. So if he did a great job, shout out to him. I hope he did. I hope more people do great jobs because right now, like I said, it's lazy attempts. And I don't want to. I mean, shout out to CNBC when they had Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary on there after the FTX. They pressed them. CNBC been pressing people hard this last year and a half. I actually would give them that. So shout out to them. But when they first kind of started this crypto journey, they was Ripple at 329. This is about to go up more. We're doing that. So shout out to them for bringing that back home. All right. ERC 404 hybrid NFT tokens in good spot for EIP push, says Dev. What is going on with this ERC 404 hybrid and this Ethereum improvement proposal as well, Bitcoin Zay?
Oh, yeah. So if you were on Twitter or social media, you probably saw that there's a new protocol, C404. It's basically a hybrid of the classic ERC20 token, C721 standard. Basically took a little bit of each, put it together, and had a little ERC baby. They're basically working around the clock at this point to submit it. As you know, you have Ethereum improvement proposals, just like a Bitcoin improvement proposal. You submit it, they approve, and they put it as a standard. So right now, it's just basically in, so to say. And once it's approved, once it's standard, because you don't really want to use a protocol that hasn't been audited and tested and stress tested, because if something goes wrong, you could create smart contracts or create some sort of values in there that could mess up, long term. So under the project, it's called Pandora, or it's created by anonymous developers known as CTRL and Acme under a project called Pandora. The standard mixes the tech between ERC20 token ERC721, which is used for one-of-one tokens like Bored Ape Yachts. However, despite the moniker, ERC404 has not been audited, like I stated, and they quote here, it's a lengthy process. There's a lot of politics. Usually the process takes a couple of weeks. So if you want to explore it, the GitHub is available if you are into that, or you could just do like most people and just wait till it's finalized that as well. And it'll be interesting to see, because there's been enough projects been swiped and stolen from these different protocols. I wonder if this one may be a little bit better. But either way, I mean, Ethereum, they need something. Like hopefully this is a little bit better than the first two protocols, but they need something to get people back excited about it and want to use it. Because right now it's kind of like when I was in middle school, all the Kings turned into Bloods when I got to high school switching gangs. Everybody jumped over to Solana.
I remember that. Listen, ninth, 10th grade. I was in North Carolina for that. Listen, 9th and 10th grade. How did all these gang members switch?
Yeah,
bruh.
Anybody that was in Charlotte,
I never forget.
It was one day they was wearing black flags, and then the feds did a sweep. And all I know is when we got to high school, everybody was Bloods. Yeah. I was like, what? You were Blood now? What happened?
What was that big gang called over there? I remember that big. I used to hear about it. I just moved there not so long ago. What was that? It was a big Hidden Valley. HK, something like HBK or something. Yeah, HBK. I remember that.
They were on Gangland. Yeah.
Bro, I remember that the feds did a sweep. They arrested like 20, 30 people. I never forget that. And literally, because I was in 9th grade going to 10th grade, just started, man. And I always remember it. We had one blood come to school. And in my head, I was like, oh, boy, they about to max you out daily in this bit. Boy, by the 3rd or 4th week, man, next thing I was like 5 bloods. I'm like, wait, I've been on those. I know so and so for a couple years now. By the end of that year, it was like 15. The next year was like 30. I'm like, oh, I'm knowing most of them on the football team. I'm like, bro, y'all don't stop playing. Right
I played ball with them. I played ball with. Grew up with them. Knew some of their brothers. I was like, what happened? But that's basically what's happening with Ethereum and Solana. People are just jumping ship. All of a sudden, everybody is Solana boys and Solana this. And you even got BitBoy Crypto talking about Solana. That would be a red flag for me. But yeah, everybody's kind of jumped ship. They're like, well, it's way cheaper and it works better, quote unquote. So, for those who are still sticking around Ethereum, hopefully this protocol helps, but hasn't been audited yet. So, give it a few weeks.
And when you said that, I didn't really realize that. When you said it hadn't been audited, I didn't realize they didn't even get through the EIP yet. And they just put the name ERC404. Listen. For one, the 404 part is hilarious for those, the 404. But right, so that's kind of funny in and of itself. But this is like, I think we're going into like the last iteration of this where you're allowed to do this. What you think the government and institutions and BlackRock gonna get in all these billions and trillions of dollars and they're gonna let you just make up a name? Oh, they about to put the clamps. Like, this is probably the last iteration of this. By next year, legislatively, they're gonna be like, no, you can't. If you ain't go through a BIP or EIP or whatever, no, you cannot just be naming yourself projects. Everybody gonna be like, how you just gonna tell us? Like, I will fight for the people naming it. I'll be like, you can't tell people how they're gonna name it, but I'm going to get it at the same time. I understand. I can see it happening, but again, check out this GitHub. You can kind of see some of the. I'm trying to kind of get to the workflows already. Here we go. Yeah, so you can get to some of the code that's already being built on this ERC404 as well to get the workflows there, SRCs, modules, the README. Be interesting to see all that. But here's a repository. You can see all this is from last week as well. So pretty new. 10 people watching, 112 forks, 244 stars. People paying attention to it. So again, GitHub, if you want to check that out and get more in tune in depth with what's going on with that new ERC 404. I don't know. Do you think it's going to work or no? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it'll work. The main thing is that it did take some time to develop it, and I'm sure they looked at ERC20 and 721 standards, so I don't think it'll be completely off base. But we'll see. I mean, they may have overlooked some stuff, and as technology gets better, I think you'll have less and less mistakes going forward. So we'll see.
All right. Shout out to Alec G. What's going on, Alec? Somebody said, yes, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I always tell people at this point, I'm from the United States. I'm really a child of America. I didn't live in so many cities and states, people. I didn't live in probably like 6 or 7 cities and states, or 7 states, and I think probably about 15 cities in this great nation. So that's why whenever people mention different states and cities, I'm like, oh, that's home. I didn't live there. I got family here. Anywhere I had a girlfriend out and lived at. All right, I ain't trying to hear that. All right, so what else we got? Dwight Howard's NFTs.
Yeah.
Athletes need to take the time to understand how they work. Zeliqua, I might have pronounced that wrong. Zeliqua executive Tom Fleetman described former NBA player Dwight Howard's NFT project as a complete disaster, which left fans underwhelmed. What are your thoughts on this, and what exactly happened with Dwight Howard's NFTs? What went wrong?
Things swirling around him. This probably wasn't the best time to release the Dwight Howard NFT project. However, it says here, Tom Fleetman, he said that among the sports organizations he worked with, many need to improve the experience and monetization fans. In addition, audiences like Gen Z had different behaviors from previous generations, suggesting that the modern approach may be required in tapping the market. So these executives, they believe that NFTs can play a role in overcoming these challenges. However, while there are benefits in jumping into the NFT space, Polito explained that sports organizations and athletes need to spend enough time to understand intricacies behind creating their NFT projects. Well, wouldn't you look at that? You can't just up and throw an NFT together and slap your name on it and say, I'm famous, so buy it. Those days are done. That was the early days where it was just Tory Lane sold 1 million in 10 minutes. Like, that's how you know it's like, bro, just slap a famous person name on it, it's gonna sell out. Those days are done because people are now sitting with hundreds of NFTs and they've done nothing. Like, there's no secondary market, there's no access to anything. They can't actually win anything or stake it and get something else. So you got to come correct, and I think that's what he's basically saying here. Somebody, Zach XBT, who he basically catches all the rug pulls. He showed where the project went down and 404 page was lost, and how the project basically had all these criticisms, and it was a quick rug pull. But either way, I wouldn't trust the Dwight Howard NFT myself. But so some people learn. Like I always said, I'm not big into saving from them. Some people got to learn. If you find it just because they're famous, then you're already on the wrong foot. But yeah, if it's a good project, then you might be able to get something out of it. If it's not, this is what you're gonna end up with: a bunch of rug pulls. And yeah.
And again, this is what the crazy part of this stuff is. Two things. For one, it shows you, like, people, if, like, to me, Bitcoin and crypto, we talked about this with Larry David. While he's a different exception for sure, but it does show you that people don't have the money they have. I mean, we learned that during COVID for sure. Like, a lot of celebrities and famous people weren't as wealthy as you all were led to believe. They already know. We see it in Hollywood all the time where it's just like, wait, like you half time you know about people where they live at, but what apartment building you live at, like what home do you live, what area, like you can already know who papered up about the location. Yeah, what area are you in? Like, are you near crime? Okay, but
you got to do what I do. When I used to figure out if girls live in a certain neighborhood, what's the gas prices over there?
Yeah, for real. There you go. So, exactly. Yeah, no, we're gonna figure out that lag, people. That's the what's called. So we'll figure that out. But no, so I don't understand how and why the Dwight Howards. I get it. Crypto is cool. It's interesting technology and all that. But to make a business move, to make the business moves that you see the Larry Davis, the Dwight Howards, the Steph Currys, the Tom Brady, and this is like, wait, you all have multiple accolades in your profession. You've made a ton of money, and yet you're grifting for what? And like, this is such a dangerous grip. This is not like the financial world in general is a dangerous grip. You just, like, to me, that's not anything I would advise anybody to grift over to. But to me, it just shows that either they literally have bad people on their team giving them advice, or I don't know what it is. But it's like, didn't you already make a lot of money? Aren't you already have accolades out the yin yang? And then you're trying to come over here and you're rug pulling, whether intentional or by mistake. It's just like, woo wee, way to ruin your legacy. Like, Dwight Howard is ruining his legacy with all the moves he's been making the last 3 to 6 months. Like, holy smokes. Like, play basketball. On this one, I will say you should dribble that ball on this one, because what is going on? That's something I never think I see. I mean, I never thought I'd see the Steph Curry endorse cryptos. Actually, I'm lying, because I didn't know the commercials and advertising was coming, but I thought that will only be as far as commercial and advertising. I didn't think they would actually do their own project. So again, now you got like Zach XBT doing X threads. Thanks at Dwight Howard for the quick rub pull. No, this is not ERC 404, but for those who are lost on what I meant by what I said, 404 was pretty cool. You can see it here. That is when you go to a web page, and that page is officially lost. That's what you're getting when you go to to his NFTs. I mean, such a shame. We'll see the blowback from it though, actually, because that's the other thing. Now people are actually starting to go after these celebrities and try to sue them. So we'll see what happens with that next. But it's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see the NFT project, but yeah, if somebody just told me, yeah, Dwight Howard has an NFT project, what? I don't give a damn. But at this point, like you said, they I don't know. I guess somebody commented here said their agents and managers need the money, so maybe they just do it for them.
Good point.
But it is.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, I was gonna say you in LA, you know how that game goes because they could be, like, hey man, if you do this, for $5 million, man, I need that money, man. I'm getting a divorce, or I'm trying to get a new house, or blah blah blah. I use too much money on something, so you know how that game goes. You never know.
Or they might have straight lied, to be honest, because now that I think of it, and I was seeing something the other day, I think it was John Sally who was saying that, hey, basketball players and athletes, like they don't have time to be financial managers and smart. I can agree with that. I understand. I mean, you play sports. I remember, training high school to go to college. Like, yeah, there's no free time. It is no free time outside of trying to be great at your sport. So I do understand where it's like, well, we're already lacking financial knowledge. We're already lacking technology knowledge. And you talk about Bitcoin and crypto. I can see a manager, essentially, like Larry David said, someone you already think you trust. And, and maybe it's in goodwill. They don't even realize how wrong they are. Maybe they've caught up in the exuberance and the times 100 X's. Maybe they're caught up in it as well. They're caught up watching BitBoy every day. And they're just like, Larry David, Dwight Howard, man, let me tell you, this is a literal layup. All right. These guys are going to pay you $2 million. You're going to put your name on this project. You see these other projects, man, everybody makes it work. And you're going to make it work too. And they probably got fed that quick line, some feel-good speech. And they're like, all right, whatever, let's do it. It doesn't cost me anything. Doesn't cost you a thing, man. Just your name. It's a reason why it costs your name. It's a reason. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they are starting to see that cost now on the back end. But up front, they were thinking, hey, I trust this person. We made money. We done business. They seem like they know what you're talking about. That's me being positive. Maybe it was just one of those cases. Regardless, though, if it was coming from a place of positivity or not, I mean, it happened. You still rug pulled. So that's where it's just like,
hey man, yeah. Well, and the NFT part of it, I mean, it can't get any worse than what he was dealing with before. So I guess he was like, forget it, let's do it. Like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Last but not least, before we leave, because someone asked, I wanted to look at this real quick. Hyman17 said, do you guys think a lot of individual miners will shut down after the halving? Energy versus miners? In my opinion, I would say no. Still too early. Still a lot to happen. You got to remember, miners isn't just about finding Bitcoin. It's about actually securing the transactions as well, confirming transactions. So, no, I think it's starting to hit the masses. More transactions are happening every day on a daily basis. You have Bitcoin ETFs now. I think miners are going to have a lot in store for them for at least the next 10 or 15 years, in my personal opinion. What about you, Zach?
Yeah. I think most miners will be fine. Individual miners, I mean, if you join a mining pool, for example, Ocean that just got started.
Oh, he did say individual. My fault. They did say individual.
So individual miners, though, yeah, you may see a few, but as far as big mining operations, I think they're only going to increase. In fact, they're building, like, there's buildings being built right now in Texas and in Florida and other places where they're basically trying to increase mining capacity because now they know it's good for renewable energy. But individually, you might see a few shut it down and be like, hey man, I don't have the time or the resources. But I think they're going to wait till the halving because the demand is pretty high as far as the ETF. As you saw, it's the 3 billion is the most in 30 years as far as the ETF demand. It's about to get cut in half. It's going to go from 900 a day to 450 a day. On top of the fact that they're constantly buying, you're probably going to see a lot of mining companies pop up, big ones, but individuals, yeah, I can see it taking a hit.
Yeah, now that you say, yeah, individual, my fault, Hyben. Yeah, I can see individuals taking a hit as well. In fact, I can actually see it being more almost a novelty where you have people who are just there to make sure they secure the network. So they're not even there really to mine as much as like, I'm not mining, I'm securing the network. It's like, you're mining. It's like, whatever, I'm securing the network. Like, they're there to secure the network. Seriously. Like, that's what they want to do.
Just run a node.
Yeah. And then there'll be people who are also doing it just to literally, like, kind of, that's their gambling. This is a new form of gambling, people. So the fact was, a couple years ago, last year, we had about 2 or 3 people, individuals, win that Bitcoin mining reward. There will be some people who say, hey, listen, I know it more than likely won't happen, but shit, I'm gonna run it just in case. Because if it were to happen, wow. Like the fact that you will
We need
even win
one.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. But not that, just the fact that you win the one, oh, you could do a whole media circuit. This game, now we really about to get paid. I'm gonna teach y'all how to mine one Bitcoin on your own. Like, what? It's over. But so yeah, I'm with Zay. I don't think it will for individuals it will go down, but there'll definitely be some. All right. Other than that, that is the show for today. About to swap all that BNB Binance coin for that Bitcoin. Y'all funny. Do we see a fork in the future? Oh man, so many great questions. We'll be back next time with more. Bitcoin Zay, any last comments?
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter if anybody wants some Bitcoin trading cards. I got some Bitcoin trading cards here. Pretty fun stuff. We got some good information. It talks about like gold standard, Lightning Network, freedom, government, FUD, dollar cost averaging. Yeah, they kind of like the Illuminati cards. You know how they have those like playing cards, but it's like got some good art, some good information. They got key resources. It comes with a free PDF book. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter if you want some of those trading cards. They're going towards the Bitcoin summer camp, and also these trading cards are going towards the Bitcoin summer camp. So it's good. It's good.
There we go. That shout out to Zay on that. Listen, man, you be having me laugh when you say the most random stuff. Make sure you all smash that like and share. We will see you all Monday.